Controversial opinion. I actually like Jojo Siwa. Like, I have a lot of respect for her, like, as a performer. Because it's another one of those, there's a reason why I'm bringing her up to you guys winning team, because I feel like there's a lesson to be learned here. And particularly with her. So if you don't know who Jojo Siwa is, she's a young girl. Well, I say young girl, she's like 20. And she's most well known for being on a show, popular TV show, Dance Moms, which had Abby Lee Miller. A lot of us watched it growing up. I, for one, used to love Dance Moms. It's sort of so interesting. And pretty much she would have these girls, take them to competitions around the country, and they would compete in mostly classical styles with a bit of different other styles here and there. And she would always try to win. It was a whole show. It was kind of like a reality TV show because the mums used to argue. It was a classic, turns out production was getting involved and trying to make it more dramatic. Because the show was called Dance Mums, but it was more to do with the girls themselves. I don't know. It was just weird, but it was one of those anyways. So they were all on the show. The show was considered to be massively toxic, like as we all grew up and looked back at it and whatever. And to me, I personally think that's just how the industry is. I've always thought that when people thought Abby Lee Miller was being so difficult and so whatever, I'm like, that's actually how the entertainment industry is though. It's just people are not used to seeing it. Like that's how choreographers are in the rooms. That's how brutal the system is. People don't care about your feelings. People don't care about anything. People give you hard and harsh critique. Which you want when you're there because you want to be the best, which is something that I think that Jojo understood that other people, including people there, didn't. And that's why I feel like she's become the most successful. And that's why I think people are gonna hate on her, because she didn't have such a big issue with the show. She's very grateful, and other people are like, how can you be grateful for abuse? She's dealing with Stockholm syndrome, whatever the heck it is. I do think there's an element of that because she was a child. I would never put my child through what those kids went through, don't get me wrong. But I think that her attitude was such that, well, this woman, if I listen to this woman and I listen to what's happening, I'm going to become the best version of myself. So I'm going to not be get caught up in my emotions and how sad or horrible it is. I'm going to just lock in, which is what I feel like I resonate with her on that level. So that's what she basically did. And she's become massively famous. She's known for having she was known for having the bow in her hair and being really attractive to kids. And I always thought she's extremely talented, right? She's extremely talented. All the girls were really on the show, right? But yeah, so she's extremely talented, and I think she's got a mind of steel, as in she's got the mind. And that's why I think she's even still managing to handle everything she's under. Again, this is a classic case of the jury of the sheeple. I would love to see any one person of the jury of the sheeple that's hating on her online handle what she is handling at 20 years of age. Bearing in mind, and this is something I think we keep forgetting, and I keep saying about these child stars, these people grew up on TV. So when we're looking at them and thinking they're out of touch or judging them, this is all she's ever known. All she's ever known is performance and putting 100% and doing herself, right? And so that's why when people make fun of her, when she did that Karma video, whatever, and then people were had a whole big kerfuffle about the dancing and people were making fun of it. But I was actually laughing at people because I'm thinking, you're going to be the same person who's going to be broke when TikTok goes down tomorrow. She's the one who's just booked another world tour again while she's having all this hatred happening. So it's just funny in the jury of the sheeple how you just shoot yourselves in your own feet. Obviously I'm not talking to you guys on the winning team. So, it just makes me laugh. People are making fun of her, but she's literally filthy freaking rich. And she's getting even filthy freaking richer. And people are still showing up. People still like her. Then me even discovering that I'm one of them now. I don't necessarily vibe with all her music per se, right? But I respect her hustle. She does her own choreography. She's an incredible performer. She actually sings and actually dances. And I especially respect the fact that she's one of the few people that isn't just doing the Hollywood thing of because again, looking at it from a dance perspective, one of the things I've said to you guys is in my very, very short stint and just little taster of the industry, the dance industry, one thing that put me off and why I knew I wasn't going to stay is that all of it is you are expected to do these exact certain types of dance styles, this exact certain type of dancing, it's the exact same dancing you see everywhere. You see in the music videos, you see in their concerts, you see them doing it at the festivals. It's the dances that's the dance style. The entertainment industry has its dance styles, and you just follow the script and you get booked to follow the script, right? So for me, I respect her having her own dance style, which again is not necessarily how I personally would choreograph or whatever, but I love that she is doing something that's actually her and she's not so industry. And so I actually respect her for that. And then I also respect her as a whole because the thing with this whole situation with her, you see, I've really thought about it a lot because I've been watching her videos because I've been actually so fascinated by her. And I think I'm honestly really happy for her and proud for her because she's been through a lot in her life, right? And because she was also involved with the Colleen Ballinger situation. She was one of the reasons why I sussed Colleen Ballinger early because I was thinking, why is Jojo Siwa? It just seemed really really odd. And Jojo was another one of these young girls, like similar to Charlie D'Amelio, who like were getting really famous and having really adult like interactions, like when they were still like kids, like actual children. That's why I never could get onto TikTok. It was literally almost completely because of Charlie D'Amelio. Because like I'm not about to be on a platform that's doing this type of stuff. So I've only been on TikTok literally this week. I've been on TikTok, like actually on there, right? So, so I kind of had Jojo in that same bracket. So then when she went on this Big Brother thing now, and then she came out and she was like, oh, she isn't, she was with a girl. She came out and she was like, maybe she's not completely only into girls kind of thing. And people were thinking it's because she got into this relationship with this guy. I was thinking that it's like something exactly what she said, and which is again why I don't like the world, but because people miss the small details. Something specifically she said is, I have never been away from my phone for this long, which I feel like is the truth of my generation. Like, because we have just been so used to being online that it informs what we think about ourselves way too soon in our lives. And we can't be helped because we're not supervised, right? And we're just left to it. So the only time we start to realize things is later in life, which is true for everybody as a whole. All adults go through it, of all generations go through that whole period. But for us with the technology, it's just a bit different now because then people get to comment and everybody gets to watch what's happening. Because when other people, and for no fault of your own, because she wasn't the one who put herself on Dance Moms in the beginning. She wasn't the one who understood the consequences of her being on a TV program when she was a kid. She's just getting to that age now. And I kind of relate to her in that aspect of, obviously I got to that part sooner, but where she's realizing it, but it's already too late and everybody already has so much to say, and she's just trying to make the best of what she has, and she keeps pushing and she keeps going. She's still making her songs even though people are making fun of them. She's still going on tour even though people are making fun of her. I have so much respect for her. She's 20 like years of age, and I don't think that 70% of the adult population can handle what she's handling at all. I don't think it. And she's still doing her own thing. She's sticking to her own brand. She's evolving into her own corner. And she actually is. And again, the world, people in the past, you wouldn't have the whole internet be able to watch you growing up. You didn't have that. Whereas for her, people are. As you see with all the artists, I remember when there was hashtag cut for Bieber because Justin Bieber was caught smoking weed, and then they were then all over Twitter. I remember because I was a teenager at the time. I remember literally girls and everybody was literally uploading videos onto Twitter, literally cutting themselves, writing like Bieber with a razor sharp knife on their arms, like children, like people in my like. I remember this so well, and I remember thinking this is nuts, right? Because just because he smoked weed, he's no longer the little cute boy singing baby that we had at the beginning, right? So it's like, it's intense. And that's why I really have so much respect for. Also, she's a May baby. And I told you, controversial greatness is born in May. Another person I'm going to talk about born in May in my next video, actually, ironically. And it's not on purpose. It just so happens. I should talk about Trisha Paytas and Pope Francis. Anyway, because her birthday is also in May. But anyway, so yeah, so I honestly have so much respect for her. She's a young lady. She's under fire for everything. She can't do absolutely anything right as far as the Jew of the Sheeple. She survived the strongest with the mind of steel, Abby Lee Dance Company, and came out with less trauma, which I do believe she's less traumatized, because I believe that for her, because she reminds me of the way that I think about life as well. Like, if you go through something extreme, if it brings the greatness out of you, it's actually so worth it. And I feel like anybody in life who's a winner knows that feeling, where it's like, this was so difficult and it was so straining. And then again, I think it's because of my experience in dance, but also science, because in science, you're critiqued like to the tooth and nail. Like, so that's why when I see people in normal life who get easily offended by the smallest of things, I just think you're so weak. You're so unbelievably weak. If you're just like somebody you don't even know says something and you're now losing your whole everything, or even somebody you know says something you don't like and you're like reacting, I just think you're so mentally weak, to be honest with you. And it is, and this is the true realities of winning. That's what I'm saying. It's the you know what I'm saying? That if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Even Gordon Ramsay himself literally said that as he was training up, people fell away along the way, because they couldn't handle the things that they do. They couldn't handle what it costs for them to train under these professional chefs in these professional kitchens, and they didn't make it. And that's the realities of winning. And so to me, she's very much a winner. She's a winner, and she won. The more attention she gets, the more money she makes, the more she can do the things she wants to do, like making her songs, sharing them. She has a fan base. And in fact, she's got the best fan base. She's so OP. She's so overpowered because she's got the best fan base, which is kids, but her content for the most part is actually quite kid-friendly, other than some of the newer songs. But she is changing, and she's growing, and she's allowed to. Just like all of the child stars should be allowed to. But again, what did the Jew of the Sheeple do? Do they say, oh, we need to supervise our kids, we can't stop them, maybe she's growing up, maybe it's too, whatever. You blame the celebrity, or you blame the social platform, anybody except from the people looking after the kids themselves. And so, you know, that's just my thing. And so, yeah, I have so much respect for her. I think the hatred towards her people are just truly hating. And the fact that she keeps going and taking it on the chin, she changed how she felt about, you know, the whole queer thing. She's been online. She hasn't had a chance to be disconnected from everything and just sit with herself, which is something a lot of us are lacking in this day and age. And I don't think it's because of anything specifically changed. I think maybe it was just the first time where she really was just able to just socialize normally. And this is why I'm so passionate as well about, like, when I talk to you guys about kids and being unsupervised online, and why I just think it's just so bad for kids to be online. Like, I just really do. Like, whether it's that they're being, the content of them is being pushed out, whether you're posting photos of them, whether you're like allowing them to just roam around. I just think it's so bad. And especially knowing that when I was like a super young kid, it was like technology wasn't where it is now, although I did used to play the Elmo. I used to, like, that's what I used to do. I used to have a CD that I would plug into the computer, and I'd be playing freaking this Elmo game, this Sesame Street game, this Dr. Seuss game. You know what I mean? Like when I was like 3 and 4. You know what I mean? And it was very fun. I remember it very well, right? That was so appropriate. But like what kids are exposed to now online is just, and it just ruins everything. And like, yeah, so I feel for her. I feel like she's one of those, like, I'm grateful every time I see her smiling and that she's still pushing, because I don't think a lot of people could handle what she's under. I don't think that they could. And I think that for everything she has been through, that she's absolutely she's doing the damn thing and she's killing it. Because even if she doesn't say music I listen to or choreograph things that I would do myself, I love that she is doing her own thing and she's sticking with it. And rather than trying to just switch into what Hollywood would say, she's kind of evolving in her own way that actually kind of matches her personality. Because even like the way she's evolved, the way she dresses, if you actually pay a look at how she was, it kind of does, she is evolving into her own thing. And I think that's so cool to actually have somebody who's younger, who isn't just trying to be fit the mold or be put into pigeonholed by the industry, but is actually like doing their own thing. So that's why I have a lot of respect for her. Anyways, I just thought I would just give her her flowers because I feel like she deserves it. And I feel like there needs to be some positivity for Jojo Siwa out there. Because again, I also just think people are hating. If people had the opportunity to have the type of life and lifestyle that she lives, people would take it in a heartbeat. Even if it meant doing everything she's doing, people just hating from outside the club because they can't get in, as I always say, which is ironic because my next video is actually about to be about Chris Brown and Ariana Grande and this whole being a scapegoat to Hollywood thing and him being arrested versus Ariana Grande. Anyway, stay tuned for that video, you guys, because if life's a game was pay to win, this is like a proper old school level, like my winning team video where I used to talk about the industry. So today we're going to talk about industry peeps. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game is pay to win, God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.